Welcome to the Adam Friedland Show, the podcast.
The podcast.
I'm with...
No, the Adam Friedland Show podcast.
Welcome to the Adam Friedland Show podcast. I'm joined by Nick. I'm Adam. How are you, Nick?
I'm all right. I'm good.
It's beautiful outside.
It is. I went to Auntie Anne's. I had some pretzel bites. It's always good for me.
You enjoyed them.
They're good.
Kind of like a mental health break.
I wouldn't say that. Just sort of enjoying pretzel bites. Not everything has to be self-care now. I don't understand that.
I'm not one of those people.
Well, you just called eating pretzel bites a mental health break.
I don't know. It's something that makes you happy.
They just taste good.
And
how
does that make you feel?
People used to just.
How does that make you feel?
People used to just live their lives and they would enjoy things. Not everything had to be like some sort of process in like like escaping trauma.
Uh huh.
I don't know. Everything's branded now as trauma.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah. Speaking of trauma, I'll be in Austin, Texas tomorrow night, the 1st of June through the 3rd. 5 shows at Cap City Comedy. Nick, where are you next?
I'm in San Diego.
San Diego. Hell of a city.
June 15th through June 17th at San Diego, the American Comedy Club. Also, July 13th through 15th, I'll be at Cap City Comedy Club in Austin.
Amazing.
So next month, if you want to go see that, I'll be at Cap City.
Amazing. Competing dates.
I don't know if they're really competing.
No. Well,
like
you got to
6 weeks.
catch them all. You got to see Nick and me.
6 weeks apart.
6 weeks apart, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I'm not trying to brand your pretzels as trauma or a coping mechanism for trauma.
I'm not being defensive. I'm making a general point about the way.
I'm just saying if it tastes good, it makes you feel good.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what a tasty thing does to someone. If you have a candy, if you have an ice cream Snickers, it tends to make a person feel better. Or good. Just good. Not better. Good. Yeah. What'd you get?
Huh?
The small pretzels?
I got pretzel bites. Yes.
The bites.
Yeah.
How many did you have?
I don't know. I don't count how many.
A dozen.
I have no idea.
You housed them on the walk back here.
There's not that many. Yeah. To walk around the block, I had
Okay.
a cup of pretzel bites.
Yeah. We've had some frustrations here at the studio getting set up today, but we're on course right now. We're feeling good.
Yeah, everything's working now.
We feel good about it.
Feel good about it. Yeah, we need better HDMI cables.
Those things like fail fairly frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, these ones are garbage.
And whose fault is it? It's mine. I got them.
No, you didn't. It's not your fault.
Yeah, I got them at Moishi's Electronics going out of business.
It's a limitation. You know what? How about this? This is big on YouTube because we're trying to get YouTube. We're doing tech reviews.
Go ahead.
Right? So a lot of people, look, maybe we'll do a different preview image for this where it's like you superimpose like the camera and then you can do like
soy face.
What the fuck is this thing? This will be our review of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K, which came out probably like 8 years ago, so nobody's looking up reviews of it.
And what's your star system that you've identified?
I don't know. I think we should use little pineapples.
Uh-huh.
Because you know how it makes your cum taste better?
Yes.
So the more pineapples, the better the
cum
taste.
Yeah. So it's unlimited.
I guess, yeah. You probably want to cap it.
So if you give something 15 pineapples...
Yeah, if you want to go that far on a 15-point system.
You're going up to 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, no, the cameras are good.
What does a cum taste like?
What?
Has a gal ever told you?
I don't know.
No.
Anyways,
review.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Right.
So you want to keep that separate. We bought these, and they all have the raw light OLPF filter in there, which Ed tells us is just in case somebody has like a shirt with a pattern on it that's supposed to help. What is it, moire? Ginsburg,
Moray.
what's it called? Moray. Yeah.
Moray.
With that, and then also the blacks won't be as red looking.
What do you mean by the blacks?
They have like a red. They look muddy. They
Oh,
look
okay.
like a
Okay.
reddish
Yeah.
hue. I guess you put those filters in. But if doing it all over again, I would have gotten the studio. They have the same camera, but for what we do.
Uh-huh.
You know, so they got a bigger monitor on there, and the tally lights have little numbers you can put on them.
Uh-huh.
It comes with a set of numbers, so you can just 1, 2, 3 on the camera.
What is like the distinction from a red light?
Well, when everything was fucked up, we had Ginsburg out here, and we're setting everything back
Correct.
up. He was having trouble keeping track of which ones were which, so there's tape all over everything.
Yes.
It's tape.
Mm.
It's tape.
Not a good system.
It's tape. How does he say it?
Who?
It's tape. People will know. Doesn't matter.
What guy?
Doesn't matter. But
Why can't I know?
yeah, they weren't recording, so now they're recording, and
Feels good. What time is it? It is now 12:36. It's taken approximately 3 hours and 6 minutes to troubleshoot this. So how many pineapples?
what of the Black
The
Magic?
Pocket 4K.
I don't know. I haven't used any other camera,
Yeah.
so I have no idea. Let's say 15,
All right.
and then it'll revise.
Yeah.
Depending on, it'll either go to 0 or stay at 15.
Uh-huh.
That's the other thing too. We only give either 15 pineapples or none.
Or a 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something's awesome or terrible. Yeah. So check it out. Blackmagic 4K. It's what, $1,500?
There's something like that. You could probably find them on sale. You probably want to buy it used now. I think they got a new one out.
The studio.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, that's a different camera. I think they have a new 4K Pro or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
But if this show ever starts, you know, the money starts going in the other direction, you know what I mean?
It goes up.
If the money starts going up,
Yeah.
maybe at some point we'll swap the cameras out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
For
use-
what?
For the studio
Studio.
Yeah. cameras with the big monitors on there.
Uh-huh.
And we could get rid of some of these cables too, because I think you only need one. The problem with these is they only have HDMI out.
Correct.
They don't have SDI.
Yeah.
To use SDI, we only need one run of SDI. We can strike that, save the cables for something else.
Would you be opposed to having like an NYU Tisch summer fellowship kind of person around here? We'd pay them. I know how you feel about
We've done that. We already do that. We've had crew and people in here
yeah, but like on a consistent basis for college credit.
to do what?
I don't know, tidy.
Yeah, we had that. You got rid of them. You get into fights with everybody. And
What are you talking about?
I mean, you asked me. Yeah, that would be great. To have someone in here that tidies. So you're going to Austin. Do you have any plans for Austin?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I'm going to Big Mama's house.
Oh, they got that down there now?
Yeah, Martin Lawrence.
It's weird they only do that with Friends and Cheers and Seinfeld.
Do what?
They do like pop-ups where they'll have the set of Seinfeld, or they'll do Central Perk. They'll do the Friends
Yes.
coffee shop like
And
once every 4
in the
or 5
West
years.
Village, the exterior of the front, yeah,
They'll have that. But
Yeah.
they should do it with Big Mama's house.
they should.
Yeah, or the
Yeah.
Death Star. They should build a full-size Death Star that takes up all of downtown Manhattan, and you can go in there.
I think it's a little bit bigger.
The Death Star?
It's a planet destroyer.
It's the size of a moon, right? That's the size of.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big is the moon?
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't understand. With the flat Earth stuff, is the moon also flat?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think
it's a
that's-
picture.
How does that work? Let me see.
What do they say?
Um,
Do you know a flat earther in your life?
no,
No, me
I
neither.
think it's a fake thing.
It's a fake thing. Kyrie Irving is the only one I've ever heard about.
How flat earthers explain total lunar eclipses. Hmm. So what else you got planned in Austin while I look this up?
Gonna hit some taco spots. When's the last time you were back?
Austin?
Yeah.
Probably March of 2022
Yeah.
when I did Creek in the Cave.
What'd you make of the change?
What do you mean?
Has it changed?
Well,
Is it less weird?
Every city's always changing. I'd
Well-
say even when I lived in Austin, you know, you get the old heads, like the guys that lived there in the 90s.
Yeah.
And they
Alex Jones.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But they'd say, you know, all Austin's changed. You know, it's funny about Alex Jones. He used to just be this sort of like, you know, just like a weird guy that lived in Austin and was sort of like a conspiracy theorist. And back then it was like harmless. And now he's, you know, it's crazy to see what he's turned into.
You think he's harmful now?
Well, I mean, people interpret him that way.
That's what they say.
I don't know whether, I mean, I guess you could say he is in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I don't really care to defend or condemn Alex Jones. I think the world does enough of that itself.
Yeah.
But
I don't, only God can judge me.
Sure.
That's what I say.
Yeah, I just, yeah, I mean, I would say people think he's like harmful now, but it is kind of, it's nice. You know, that's like this is sort of a charitable interpretation, but like the story of, you know, like people pitch Barack Obama as this guy that represents hope, you know? It's like this whole thing is hope, you know? And it's because it's first black president, right? Which is like a milestone to overcome. But honestly, it would have been more impressive if it was like 1960 maybe, you know? Not like 2008. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If he got like more than half of the electorate to vote for him, then.
Yeah. I mean, that would be.
Yeah, but there was no.
That would be crazy.
No one was trying.
I get at the time, it's like you already had a black president on the show 24, which is a pro-torture, like Islamophobic show.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's like probably one of the most right-wing shows you have on television, and even they were like black president.
Yeah.
The Republicans were running black guys. You know.
Well, just for fun.
For fun, but.
Yeah.
You know, Alan Keyes could have been president.
No, he couldn't have.
He could have been.
No, he couldn't have.
Yeah, well,
he had that weird Kermit voice.
Sure,
Yeah.
but I guess not to take anything away from Obama being the first black president, but they say that, you know, like, okay, this is a camp. Can you believe it? And it's like, yes, of course I can believe it. What would have been impressive in 2008, which 24 I think also did, is Chinese lady president.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yeah.
That you didn't see. You wouldn't see that.
But you said 24 did it already, so.
I know.
Your standard is that Obama's not impressive because 24 did it.
The point I'm making is this.
Okay, go ahead.
Donald Trump, that truly represents hope.
Uh-huh.
Because he's probably the worst guy. Like the worst guy you could come up
in the
with.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a guy, takes his dad's racist landlord money.
Yeah.
Loses most of it.
Yeah.
Turns his name into a thing.
Destroys like like nationally protected buildings.
Fucks up Atlantic City, does all these bad things, raping children.
I don't know.
Yeah, some of them his family maybe. You know, I don't like, you know, I mean he does all this bad stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then on top of that, it's not like, you know, like people talk about, oh, can you separate the art from the artist, right?
Yes.
Like Polanski, we talk about Polanski. It's like, because there is weird, you know, you do, I do at least in my head. There's people who are, you know, it's like I love Chinatown, right? I love that movie.
The movie, not the place. Yeah.
Well, and the place, but the movie.
Okay.
And you know, you think about like Roman Polanski raping a child.
Uh-huh.
And
I try not to.
And in my head, like I see it happening, right? I visualize.
You shouldn't.
Okay, but this young girl drugged, scared, whatever.
Yeah.
And Roman Polanski, he comes in. He's 4'11". You know, she doesn't. Yeah. Is this a nightmare child?
He's in a tour though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's wearing Austin Powers outfit.
And yes, it's the 70s.
Swinging. Yeah.
And in my head, at the same time, I see Jack Nicholson with a bandage on his nose, and he's down at the aqueduct.
Uh-huh.
You know, so like the worst thing he did and like this great thing are just like sort of intrinsically linked, and more in my head, Chinatown just is superimposed and completely obfuscates this bad thing that he did, you know. Whereas if you told me Larry the Cable Guy raped a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, bad.
I would imagine him on stage doing the voice, raping the girl for an audience of people.
A stadium.
And I wouldn't be thinking of his material at all, if that makes any sense. And I guess
You were talking about
Donald
Alex Jones?
I'm talking about Donald Trump stuff.
Didn't it start with Alex Jones?
It
To
started out.
Obama, to Donald Trump,
Well, I guess, yeah. But
to Polanski,
but Alex Jones,
to the film Chinatown.
the fact that Alex Jones could possibly be sued for, what was it, $300 billion or something?
Yeah,
by the
a
same.
zillion.
When
Yeah,
he started off as just a guy on like AM radio,
yeah.
you know what I mean? In like local AM radio.
I thought public access.
Public
though.
access, something like that.
Something like that.
He was already well into his 30s. And it's like, that's a hopeful thing. In a negative
It's
sense.
aspirational.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
fact that Donald Trump could become president despite being this guy.
So you're like celebrating the achievement,
The achievement
right?
for somebody.
And you say that Barack Obama
who do you think
barely achieved anything
Well, who do you think
because
who's
it
the-
wasn't.
who's the less likely president? The
What are
guy
you talking about?
the half black guy that's a like constitutional
I
lawyer.
wouldn't say half. I would say one drop. You know.
Yeah, but half African and you know.
In the African.
Well, he is. He's half Kenyan,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
What,
Obama,
you know what I'm
or
saying.
you're saying who's less likely,
or
or Alex
a
Jones
no,
going
or-
from
or-
AM radio.
No, or Donald Trump, a pedophile, failed businessman who's inherited racist landlord money and
A television star also.
a television
A celebrity.
star. But yeah, who's less likely? Prior to all of this, who's less likely?
I don't know. There's never been a black guy.
And let's put it this way: if let's say you know the movie Rudy, right?
Okay, I like this.
Let's just add
I can
the-
relate to
let's
this.
just add the element
I can relate to this.
that
Yes.
Rudy is racist.
Okay.
You know, Rudy is like,
He's a
and
good guy. Okay, go ahead.
Never
Go
mind.
ahead. Go, no, no, no.
Forget it.
I don't
Don't
mean
worry.
to cut you off.
no, you're not cutting me off.
Rudy was racist.
You
Go
just-
ahead.
No,
But he was a good guy. He got that sack. They let him play that one play.
but let's add that he's racist.
Okay.
Does that make it? What is the movie? Are you still rooting for Rudy?
No, I wouldn't say it's a sympathetic character
He's not a sympathetic
or a
character,
protagonist. Yeah.
but it would still function as a movie.
No, I don't know if people would see it. If they're like a guy is too short to play at Notre Dame football,
Right, and he's
but he's also racist.
point of fact, he's a white supremacist, but he just happens to be a
He
white.
just
supremacist.
happens to be one. Yeah, okay.
But he's like the least qualified guy to play football.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
put your
He doesn't
mind
have
to it.
size. Yeah.
Yeah. If you put your mind, which is already operating in a diminished capacity,
Uh huh.
to it, you
Yeah.
can become president, or you can play at Notre Dame.
Yeah. You're saying as a film character or as a guy in general?
I guess what I would, what?
I'm just trying to wrap my head around this.
Well, both.
You're saying
Okay, how about this?
is it more of an achievement if someone is repugnant? I would say that there are plenty of people that have achieved in athletics
Donald Trump is
that were
racist,
racist.
Rudy, right?
Yeah,
But it's not like Barack
one
Obama.
could argue a lot of presidents were racist. No?
Yeah, but it's not like Barack Obama is
That doesn't make it
radio.
an achievement.
You know what I mean?
Is radio?
Yeah, he's not radio.
If radio became president, it would be more impressive than Barack Obama. I will concede that.
Yeah, right. So now let's just imagine instead of being black, radio was a racist white guy.
Okay.
Still
And
in-
mentally handicapped?
And yeah, diminished
Okay.
capacity.
Okay. Slow.
Right.
Can you say that anymore?
What, slow?
Slow.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Who knows these days? So you're saying that Barack Obama, because what? Because he was just black or half black. It doesn't represent as big of an accomplishment as Alex Jones's
I don't
ascent
think-
or
there's one
Donald
thing-
Trump's ascent.
Barack Obama becomes president
Yes.
barely in spite of one thing that's like, you know, it's like I don't even feel comfortable saying that he became president in spite of being black. You know what I mean? or despite.
What do you think?
Donald Trump becomes president in spite of
Bad
a
personality.
whole laundry list of things.
Yeah,
Yes.
done bad things.
Right.
Television star.
That's the one thing that helps him.
I mean, it's a big thing, especially in our society. People love television stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obama didn't have that going for him. In many ways, you could say that it's more of an achievement for Obama to do it than Trump as someone with a network television show.
I guess it's like I see Donald Trump as so you compare Donald Trump and Barack Obama, and we'll use David and Goliath as an example.
Okay.
Right? Regular David and Goliath, everybody understands that story. We'll add a little bit of nuance, right? So you have one David and Goliath, where David is the same size as the giant, but he's black, and then David and Goliath.
David is black.
David is black.
Okay.
But he's the same size as the giant.
Well, it doesn't work as a story.
Everyone's rooting against him because it's 6,000 years ago.
Oh, because they were racist then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Donald Trump's story is he's still the same size as David, but he's racist.
Uh-huh. But everyone was.
Who is closer to the real David?
Well, 6,000 years ago, when most people were racist, as you're claiming, I wasn't there, I guess it's more of an accomplishment for David.
The Donald Trump, the racist David.
I thought you said Obama is David.
They're both David. So you start in the middle with David and Goliath, right? The regular story.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So
I'm following.
Here's David. Here's Goliath, right?
Who's bigger?
Here's Donald Trump David. All right, Donald Trump David. Regular Goliath.
Who?
Okay, hold on.
Who?
Third. David, Goliath.
Okay.
Donald Trump, Goliath. Barack Obama, Goliath. Okay, Goliath, same cross board. All three, same ones. Same Goliath in every scenario.
Oh, okay.
Same Goliath.
Obama and Trump are Davids?
David is David. Donald Trump, David also. Barack Obama, also David.
Okay, three
You
Davids.
have three Davids, you have three Goliaths. The middle ground is the story we know.
A little guy. Slingshot.
A little guy. The odds are against him. He's fighting a giant. He's got a slingshot, right? Now, Barack Obama, now David, same size as the giant. You take away this
Disadvantage.
this disadvantage, the racial disadvantage, right? And if Barack Obama was just a senator from Illinois that people liked, was very charismatic, that could speak well, and
Great speaker. Yeah.
one of the greatest orators of all time.
Nice smile. Yeah.
Right, that guy. All things considered, he's the same. He's the same size as Goliath, right? That's not a guy where you think, okay, this guy can't be president. You know what I mean? Right. So he's the same size, but he's black, right? Now the Donald Trump one, he's still small. He has none of the qualifications. There's nothing that you would say like, oh, this guy can't be president, right? Because he's disqualified for all of these things. And on top of that, he's a bad person. So he's just at base level, unqualified for the job, even if he wasn't racist. You know what I mean? Even if people didn't like him. But you're adding something on top of it. So he's further away from the David and Goliath story than David itself. Whereas this is a more like equitable matchup. You follow? I'm just saying it's cool that Alex Jones kept working. And got to the point where he could be sued by those families for saying that they didn't.
Yeah, it was a come up. It was a come up.
Yeah, I mean.
But why is Donald Trump, in your example, smaller than Obama?
Because he's unqualified. Because he's uniquely unqualified for the job.
Okay, sure, yeah. But Obama's. So you're saying it's more of an accomplishment? Is that the point?
It's more. It's
more of a David versus Goliath.
If you were to add nuance to the story.
Because Obama is a product of the system.
I don't say he's a product of the system.
But to some extent,
He's
still
a guy
a
that's very-
mainstream politician.
Yeah, right. Very qualified for the job. I guess it doesn't matter.
No, I see what you're saying. It is an accomplishment, but in many ways, Trump was a mirror to all of us, right? To our own ugliness. Maybe we're all terrible people. And maybe we all aspire to be terrible people that are also firing Meatloaf on Celebrity Apprentice.
The American people are Goliath.
We're Goliath.
We're Goliath, yeah.
So winning an election is defeating all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tricking people into
Wait,
saying
why
one
did you
guy-
say there are 3 Goliaths?
What?
You said there are 3.
There are 3.
Who are the other 2?
It's the same in each one.
So it's 3 It's a triple.
I'm tired of this now.
Why not?
Because you understand what I'm saying.
You're just saying that it's a.
You're making me explain it over and over and over.
No, you're saying it's more impressive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not in a way because you can't take
You're saying it's more. Okay.
you can't take the word impressive to mean this is a good person.
No, you're saying that he overcame more.
If I saw the most racist guy in the world
Sure.
jump over the Grand Canyon,
Okay.
I wouldn't be like
Evil Knievel.
yeah, but very.
Why? Why is his name? Yeah.
If I saw that, he still would have jumped over the Grand Canyon. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Now, if I saw Black Evil Knievel do it, I wouldn't be like, well, why can't But he's black. You know
Well,
what
he's
I mean?
the first guy to do it.
What do you mean?
Well, if he's the first black guy.
Black guy to jump over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, it's something of note.
I guess, but
But you're like, oh, he wasn't racist like the guy that jumped over the Grand
if a
Canyon.
racist guy that didn't know how to ride a motorcycle, that couldn't tie his own shoes, jumped over the Grand Canyon, and then the best black motorcycle guy in the world did it, I wouldn't be like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But if a racist guy did it, you'd be like, incredible.
If a particularly incompetent, if a racist guy did it on a tricycle.
But if you, imagine the
I'd be like,
presidency.
this guy's got some bad ideas.
So in high school,
Yeah.
they say class council is just a popularity contest, right? This is someone that was already incredibly popular. So it's not incompetence. No one's looking at his resume before they vote for him. They're looking at who's more popular in their mind. So it's not like he was from the slums of Calcutta.
Who, Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say he was from the slums of Calcutta.
No, I'm just saying, like, he was already a very famous person. You know,
Well, you need something. I mean, obviously, it couldn't be. I'm not.
that's
saying,
how he became the president.
Yeah,
Because people liked his show.
But there's all right, whatever. There's
What do you
all these,
mean, all right, whatever?
There's all these other things.
Like what? Him being racist? You
No,
think there are
that's one
people that
thing.
are
That's
like?
one thing. I'm saying there's all these other things that disqualify him.
You think there? Okay. You think that there were people in the ballot box?
Mitt Romney also already popular.
Uh-huh.
People,
He
business.
wasn't popular.
He was popular. He was one of the biggest.
No, he wasn't. No one liked him ever.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just saying Donald Trump won because he was more. Because he was.
I'm just trying to have a good day and feel.
I'm just saying that. Okay.
I'm just trying to feel. Try to look at the bright side of things.
What that Barack? It wasn't that impressive that Barack Obama.
That's not what I said. I said that there's also an impressive element to. Whatever, fine, you're right.
No, it's not a debate. It's a thought exercise, right? What do you mean?
I don't know. I guess you tell me.
You presented this,
Mhm.
right? Okay. I mean, Donald Trump was in Home Alone too.
Yeah, but so was what's his name? Joe Pesci. He's not president.
He could. I mean, he could have been.
No, he can't. He's 5'4".
What do you mean?
He's like Rudy.
There have been 5'4s.
Who? John Quincy Adams.
Madison.
Madison was 5'4".
Yeah.
That's awesome. This
I
is
mean,
what-
everyone was 5'4 back then.
I don't think so. That's not true.
Yeah.
Both George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were over 6 feet.
George Washington was a giant.
But Thomas Jefferson was tall too.
Yeah. Everyone likes
Thomas Jefferson.
that. Washington was 6'3", I think.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson was 6'2".
Yeah. Everyone was like 2 feet tall back then.
Yeah, Andrew Jackson 6'1".
Wait, did I get it right on Madison?
This is fucked. It says Franklin Roosevelt 6'2", but it's like,
Yeah. Come on. Shortest ever. Let's be honest.
I think James Madison is the shortest ever.
Wait, is Lincoln the tallest ever?
I think
It's like
so.
7'2".
Yeah. He was 6'4", but would it like
6'4"?
they should have Beetlejuice as president? That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Beetlejuice became the president post Obama, becoming the second black president, it would, in my estimation, be a greater triumph. It'd be more impressive. I'll grant you that. You think he's a Republican? No. You saw the Bill Maher episode of Stern, where he said that he's a
Support for the Adam Friedland Show is brought
comes
to you by,
from.
Support for the Adam Friedland Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best. Is it supposed to be who? Who is? Support for Adam Friedland Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's.
You can't say that about a company who.
Yeah, no, you
Isn't
can
it
say
that?
Who. No. Support for the Adam Friedland Show is brought to you by Manscaped, it should be are the best, right? Who are the best in men's below the waist grooming. That
I would say
means
Manscaped, the best in men's below
they
the
want us
weight.
to read it exactly like
Okay,
this.
say it.
Support for the Adam Friedland Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels.
Oh.
Manscaped's trademark performance package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Ginsburg, can we get the package out here?
Yeah, 1 second.
Thanks. Now, full disclosure, we already opened the package.
Yeah, we used it on our balls.
Yeah. So normally we should have waited, but we thought it was Dave's shoes.
Yeah.
So we opened the box by accident to make fun of Dave's shoes.
Yeah.
But
Turns out it was a ball trimmer.
it was products that Manscaped has sent us
To
try out.
And we thank them.
Now we did a read years ago for Manscaped, and they sent stuff, and I think their product line has expanded.
Oh my God,
Significantly.
they're huge now.
They're significantly.
I think partially we can't take credit for it, but you know what we're all thinking.
Yeah. So they sent us a bunch of stuff.
Let's hear it. Let's see it.
So this is their performance package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle.
Okay.
I don't know if it actually comes with the shirt. I think they just sent.
No, that's for us.
That's for us. They sent us shirts. Nice shirt.
Okay.
What brand is this? Oh, it's white labeled.
It's big.
They white labeled the shirts.
Okay.
Very cool.
We have the Crop Reviver.
Well,
here.
hold on. Let me read this.
Okay, go ahead.
The performance package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. That's a lot of customers.
A lot of guys.
8 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That would be even a lot, even for like just a face razor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Probably.
impressive.
Yeah. It's a lot. Makes you wonder why they're advertising.
No, it doesn't. Join over 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping
Wow.
with the code TAFS at manscaped.com.
Look at this.
If my math is correct, that's about 16 million balls. And that's in reference to the 8 million men. And I'd say that's a little, if you've had testicular cancer, you
Yeah,
only
it's a
got
little
one ball,
insensitive.
you're still a man. So
In my book.
don't let this copy bully you into thinking you're not a man if you have one ball. Maybe they've done the math and it's been offset by the guys that are born with 3 balls.
How many of those guys are there?
I have no idea. Adam, have you ever hurt your genitals?
Oh, constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? Do you have a story about a time that you've hurt?
Oh my God. Don't get me started. I was about to, make whoopee.
Yeah.
And I noticed that my pubes were longer than the tip of my cock. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And I used rusty shears.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost completely cut off my own penis.
Yeah.
It was hanging on by what the doctor said was just a one layer of skin.
I tell you, it was just Labor Day, so we can relay a piece of labor history as it relates
Solidarity.
to Manscaped.
Yeah.
One of the biggest L's in labor history is the Australia's biggest union. They're like the guys that organized the sheep shearers. Right? They had a rule in the 1920s that banned people from using, they would have the clippers, and the clippers back then, I think they were all like belt driven or something, but they had these weird metal arms that would attach to them. There's guys that they were like the most talented ones, they called them gun shearers or whatever, because they were the fastest, and you got paid by how many sheep you could put on the board by the end of the day. And so they'd bring all the sheep in, they'd shear them. And the union dictated that you couldn't use combs that were wide. There was like a width limit to the combs. And it wasn't based on anything other than the guys that were the best at the job would use the wide combs. And so they would do it faster.
Oh, so, it's cheating.
Well, it's not cheating. I mean, it made them more productive, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they made a rule against it. And in the 1970s, all these day laborers would come over from New Zealand. And in violation of the union's rules, they would use the wide shears. And then it turned into this big thing. There were like, people would fight in the streets about it. It was like this whole big issue over these New Zealand guys using the wide shears because they were better. And eventually
And they were non-union.
Yeah, they might have been, or, I don't know, they tried to, I don't know if they were non-union or they were in the union, they were doing it anyways. I don't remember all the details. Point is, these are the equivalent. This is like the Chat GPT of.
Yeah,
Clippers.
I know what you're saying. We
'Cause
all
they
know
work-
what you're saying.
they
We all
work
know.
better.
We all know. Yeah.
They work better.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, you'd say the guys that were using the small ones that were less talented, sort of the Donald Trumps to the wide shears Barack Obama.
And through sheer stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah. They.
You hear that?
Why don't you do a little slash in your
I'm
eyebrow?
not doing that. You can do that.
Why not? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, so you hurt yourself with rusty scissors.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, these will reduce the chance of nicks and cuts. And it's waterproof.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you can use
So
it.
you could do it in a pool.
Yeah, a shower. I don't know if you do it in the pool. So the Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0, which this might be that. I think it is.
Okay.
I don't really see labels on here.
It doesn't say.
There's this thing also. And
Nose trimmer.
These all look like accessories. These are boxers that come with it. So there's special underwear you can put on.
Nice.
These are different combs. So these are some type of liquid.
It's a toner for your balls.
Ball toner.
Yeah.
And this is, here we go. It's all labeled here. So they got the crop mop.
No, those are different products.
Cleanser. These are additional products you might like. Okay, all right.
Listen, folks.
All right, hold on. You can find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. That's this. The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. And you already shoved that in your nose when it showed up.
I needed it.
And Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. That's one of those.
Yep.
Performance Boxer Briefs. So it does come with the boxer briefs. And then there's a Dob kit under here. Look, you get this nice...
Take it on the road.
This nice thing. It's called the Shed storage bag.
Okay.
And then there's a newspaper.
Yeah. What's it saying there?
There's an old-timey newspaper, so you can be...
Some journalism.
And it gives you... It tells you how to do it.
This is a big newspaper.
Yeah. Obituaries. They got obituaries.
Okay. That's funny.
First off, the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming and, dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 4,000 LED spotlight because you need a more precise shave. Because this trimmer is waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor. You thought that was good, but want to take your grooming game even further to the next level? The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker nose, ear, and hair trimmer. That's this one here. This is also waterproof and provides proprietary skin-safe technology which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs
Oh
in
my
those delicate
gosh.
nose holes. I bet that would be painful to have your nose hair ripped out. I guess you don't have to worry about that with this thing here. The Crop Preserver, the Ball Deodorant, and Crop Reviver Ball Toner will change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will be thank you. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to the Performance Package, the boxers and the travel bag. So bring your comfort and boxers to another level. So yeah, the shirts, I think those are just for us.
Just for us.
Just for us.
And I'll wear that with pride.
So it's time to take care of yourself. So go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with code TAFS. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code TAFS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code TAFS. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools of the job with Manscaped. And yeah, so they're waterproof, they reduce foot odor. Lawnmower 4.0 helps reduce nicks, reduces the risk of ingrown hairs, and reduces the risk of grooming accidents. And well, what I would say about this is it's got a nice feel to it.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I mean, this is like heavy duty.
It is.
You could feel it.
Yeah.
This isn't some Chinese crap. It says made in China, actually.
All right.
This is Chinese, but the good kind.
Yeah. Well, China makes good shit now.
Oh, great shit.
If you're anti-Chinese manufacturing, you're just, I think you're just a racist.
No, it's like an older thing.
Yeah.
In the 80s, it was Japanese. They were like, oh, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And then Sony came out, and they
then
were
it
like,
was-
oh, they do a hell of a
They
job.
nailed it with consumer electronics.
Yeah.
And then Korean stuff was like,
And then Samsung.
well, yeah, they used to just
Yeah.
make, Koreans would just make fucking like toasters and like oscillating fans.
Daewoo.
Yeah, and then they
Yeah.
had shitty cars, and it was Hyundai that flipped the script on them.
And Kia.
Yeah, well, Hyundai did it. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, if I remember correctly, it was Hyundai that did it because Hyundai, they made shitty cars, but they offered like it was like a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you could just buy a shitty car and just have the engine replaced 17 times.
It's not a bad deal.
Yeah, no, and that's
It's not a bad deal.
that changed people's perception of Hyundai.
Yeah.
And now look at Korea.
They're not sponsoring the show, but shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Daewoo. And, everyone around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a comprehensive ad read,
Yeah.
and it was a word perfect.
Yeah.
Might
we're
I
good.
add.
We gotta stick to the script because the free.
I mean,
spikes,
are we allowed to say? Yeah, I was going to
they had
say.
a big problem with.
Apparently, our Batman, that whole thing we
they
did,
hated it. Yeah. So.
they didn't like it.
Yeah. So we'll try this. Hopefully they enjoy it, and if not, then.
Is it the same ad buyer?
The old show, we got away with a lot more stuff because people couldn't see us, so they could imagine whatever they want in their head.
We gave them 40 minutes on those pipes.
When it's 2 little worm men and you can see us,
Well, as long as we're the same.
and we're like, oh, what the hell is this? CBD gummies? Where do you put that? Your ass?
That's funny.
And people just don't like our faces, I guess.
No, we have nice faces.
I think that's the problem.
No, those pipe guys are like those fucking like cannabis culture snobs. We were like doing too many riffs, and they're like, we take weed seriously.
Yeah.
He got pissed at us.
Remember dude, back in the day, I feel like everyone had this opinion that like the main reason to legalize weed, unless, there's a bunch of people in prison for nonviolent offenses.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of fucked up. But secondary to that is to kill weed culture. Because you can't be like a pothead if it's a thing that's legal.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, dude, Skittles,
Right.
like, oh man, I love watching Rick and Morty.
I think it worked.
It
I
did
think it
not
worked.
work. It made it worse. Now
What do
that
you
it's
mean?
legal, the fucking weed guys are way worse.
How
than
many
us.
obnoxious weed guys do you know in your own life?
Not personally, but I don't know many people. I don't have
I
any
used to
friends.
know a ton.
Because you were in college.
When I was younger,
You're
I
40
thought the
you're
day
42 years
I thought the
old. Of course you
day
don't know
they
any weed
legalized
guys.
weed would be people would like run into the streets like it was
Like
like the
New
end
Year.
of Star Wars.
Like
Like
Dick-
I thought it was like
Dick Clark and the
everyone
ball
like
drop.
finally, and they did it quietly. No one cared.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be the you know like a like.
Are you watching The Mandalorian, by the way?
No, are you?
I think now that
Should we get into it?
I've got a week sober.
Yeah. How does it feel?
I
We're
feel
proud
a lot,
of you.
I feel a lot better, honestly.
Yeah.
I fell off the
Good.
wagon for a year, and then I kind of offset that by being vegan. I was like, oh, dude, I'll do the right thing for the world and hurt myself.
Yeah. Okay.
And then,
That kind of makes sense. I mean.
yeah, I started eating fish again, and then I completely fucking I stopped drinking, and then,
But no booze.
yeah, no booze, but I had nachos probably the next day.
Yeah, you walked into the studio carrying a bag of barbecue,
Yeah, almost immediately.
and you said that alcohol makes you depressed.
Yeah. Well, I was already depressed. Alcoholism is a symptom,
Sure,
you know.
sure.
But yeah, no, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot more stable.
So The Mandalorian.
I think that's a good test. Because I'm an idiot, right? Like I should be.
I don't know, that whole Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Alex Jones, David Goliath, that was one of the smartest things ever. Okay, go ahead.
I should be able to enjoy The Mandalorian.
I think-
As a dumb guy, I should be like, did you see what Boba Fett fucking turns out his mom is Yoda or whatever the fuck happens on that show.
Is that what it is?
Stuff like that should make me just over the moon. Someone of my intelligence, I should be delighted to find out that Yoda was a baby at one
But
point.
you were never into that kind of stuff, though.
I like Star Wars
You
when I was
think
8,
booze
but
prohibited you from that?
I don't think booze prohibited me. I think I had an inability to enjoy. And I spent 10 years sober prior to this, and a lot of that time as like what you would call a dry drunk, where you can't enjoy your life. Also, just a cocaine addict. That was the other thing too. I stopped doing cocaine, immediately started drinking again. It was almost like clockwork.
I don't know if the timeline works that way.
It pretty much does, because it was. Remember,
First of all, you weren't a cocaine addict. You did a lot of coke during COVID because everyone was getting fucked up.
Right. But February is when we stopped. It was in Chicago. Remember?
You had a bad time.
I had a bad time, and then I stopped, and it was probably a week later I started drinking.
It's not we. It's like you like.
Well,
I don't think you're making like deals with yourself, which is like I guess what addiction is, right? You're like, I'll do this, I'll do
I'm
that.
making a different point. Is that, and it's a trite point, but and it's obvious, but
The Mandalorian.
that I'm just not enjoying my life, and I should be, and like a better test is not like, because I've also been very lucky, the way things have worked out, in spite of being Donald Trump, basically a racist landlord, and kind of a pretty bad guy, honestly. Been very lucky to have a lot of things, and I don't enjoy my life. And it's not like I shouldn't look to the things that I have, because those are sort of like unique, right? Like it shouldn't be like, okay, well, if I have this problem and I'm drinking or doing whatever, doing things that are bad for me because I'm unhappy, so I need to reorient, figure out how to enjoy my life so I don't do those things rather than just abstaining from them. It's not like I can look at these exceptional aspects of my life and find enjoyment in that. Because, like, what if I didn't have any of those things, right? I should try to find the things that I would enjoy if I had none of those things, which would be stuff like The Mandalorian or Funko Pops.
And if that doesn't satisfy you, you'll pick up the bottle again?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. It's like I should figure out what mental work I need to do so that someone like me watches The Mandalorian and I enjoy it.
I don't know, maybe like hurt your brain, like
I don't need to hurt my brain.
maybe just like a
No,
traumatic brain injury.
No, not a traumatic brain injury.
Also, you should start at Andor. I hear it's a little bit elevated from
Is
the
that a
rest.
different show?
Yeah, I hear it's kind of more like gritty.
It's so funny that people waited 30 years for, well, not 30, well, yeah, well, no, hold on. So each installment of the prequels, like they waited 20 years for the new Star Wars movies, right? And those were dog shit. And then we waited another 15 for the latest trilogy, and those were somehow even worse than the prequels, right? So they got progressively shittier, but you had to wait all this time. And then after the last series, now it's just 24/7 Star Wars. They're just pumping out more Star Wars.
Yeah.
And somehow they have no problem just making as much Star
I think
Wars
it's
as possible.
Disney bought Star Wars.
Okay, all right.
I think that's what happened.
All right, well then I'll stop talking.
I think that, listen, I don't think that you should use The Mandalorian for that.
As a litmus test.
No, I think you should just, I think it's a matter of just like, I don't know, just being kind to your friends and family. And just like,
I do,
and focusing on the relationships and bonds.
You're talking about behavior, and that's,
It's not behavior.
I'm talking
No,
about
it gives life
perception.
meaning.
I am.
I
I
think that-
am nice to my family and friends.
But that's what matters at the end of the day.
Sure, it matters, but that's still just trying to use behavior to like change something internally.
Yeah, but maybe the problem is fixation
The
with
problem
oneself.
is perception.
No, maybe the problem is fixation with oneself.
In what way?
Just like thinking about like whether or not like
No, I've been
you can fix your one's. I mean, like, okay,
No,
we're gonna
because
get in
here's-
this conversation.
We'll game
it's
it.
not about.
We'll game it out. Here's why that's not the right answer.
It's not. I'll tell you.
Because there's plenty of people that do that. They feel miserable, and then either they self-harm or they do this thing where they say, okay, well, I'll just nullify myself and then focus on other people. And then you're still sitting
It's not
there.
about nullifying yourself.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm advocating for.
What are you advocating for? You said focus on.
At the end of the day, what matters truly is having love and giving love. I can't believe we're saying this on the show right now.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
then what's.
And I saw it in person when my mom passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I didn't realize it until then, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Yeah. And those are the people you want around yourself at that
That's a
moment.
completely separate thing from what I'm talking about.
How?
In your day-to-day life.
I'm not saying use that. I'm not saying use that to fix one's own brain, right? What I'm saying is think about what matters and think about what gives life meaning.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, those things, those bigger questions they're easier to fixate on and find answers to, than just like enjoying the day-to-day moments in your life that are banal.
Uh-huh.
And if you,
I'm not rejecting the
you-
Mandalorian thing. I think you might be onto something.
You
Yeah, it
should-
might be. If it's nice to watch Mandalorian, it makes you feel good. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking awesome. But I'm saying your experience watching Mandalorian
In
is
fact,
not.
because if you want to flip it and try to make it an
It's not the
ego
same as,
thing,
like-
if you want to flip it and make it an ego thing, it's like, and that's why it's inherent in your statement. You need brain damage to enjoy the Mandalorian.
No, I was just kidding. I was being a snob.
Exactly, you're being.
My
a snob.
dad loves Mandalorian.
Being a snob is an extension of an overemphasis on the self and being an egotist.
What do you
you're
mean? I watch all Marvel and stuff. I know it's
you're
good
too good
crap.
for the Mandalorian.
I don't know. Maybe I'd like it. I
think-
watch all crap.
I think we should watch the Mandalorian.
I'd be happy to watch Mandalorian
and
after this.
sit there until we're like, hell yeah, Baby Yoda.
I mean, it's nice. They spend a lot of money on it. It's there. You know? It's nice. You know? Doesn't matter if it's good. It's just there.
Well, why are you saying it doesn't matter if it's good?
Because I watch all the Marvel movies.
But you're still watching them with the understanding that they're bad.
No, it's just there. They did it. They made the thing. I don't care about Black Adam, but I watched it.
Okay.
I don't care about Shazam, which I watched on Sunday.
But Shazam's old.
No, it's a new.
Oh, I'm thinking.
It's not the Shaq
I'm
one.
thinking of
It's
Kazam.
DC Comics.
Kazam.
Kazam. Yeah. No, it's just it's there. I think the whole thing of complaining about that kind of crap is useless.
Mm-hmm.
It's just where that's what's there.
But can you enjoy it?
Yeah, kind of,
Yeah.
because it's there.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe
They
I
used
would
to make
enjoy-
other crap.
Maybe I would enjoy the Mandalorian.
It's not a matter of
Maybe I
making you
already-
feel right about yourself.
May-
It's not a matter of you watching Mandalorian and feeling at peace with oneself.
But it's not the behavior.
It's just there.
But the behavior itself is not going to do it. Something needs to change internally that will enable me to enjoy The Mandalorian.
I don't disagree.
I'm not.
I don't disagree.
Facetiously, as a joke,
I don't disagree.
I said we should sit down and watch The Mandalorian.
I'm happy to.
No. And what I'm saying is, I should sit down and do whatever needs to be done so that
To accomplish that.
If and when I do sit down and watch The Mandalorian, I say, tell me more about Boba Fett's mom.
But what if you're farther along and I just slap that shit on and you watch it and you're like, all right, let's see what happens.
I don't think that's the right answer.
Why?
I think.
But maybe that tells you that shit isn't as bad as you think it is.
What do you mean?
You think
don't
that
think
you're
that-
not intellectually capable, okay, of letting that shit wash over you, right? Because you're not right with yourself, right?
Yeah.
What if you just put it on and it just washes over you and you're like, this is fine, right? Maybe you'll find that you are more right with yourself than you gave yourself credit for.
Maybe.
Maybe everything isn't as dire as you're prescribing
I'm not saying
for
anything-
yourself.
I'm not saying anything is dire.
I'm just saying, like, maybe you just put that crap on and it feels okay. Or it just feels like fine. And fine is good too.
I think you should be excited about it.
I don't think
I
you should go to Comic-Con.
I think so. I think so.
It doesn't. Then you're losing me.
Why?
Because it's just, what does that prove?
Imagine if you met Data. You met Data from Star Wars.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just a component.
And Data wouldn't give a fuck if I met him.
But that's the promise of Comic-Con, is that you're going to meet Data.
No, you're going to meet the guy that played Data.
But he'll be Data.
He's not going to do Data. He's going to be like, I'm a guy and I'm doing this for a check. I felt really bad when I said that to Ernie Hudson.
What'd you say?
I said, you probably do Comic-Cons and stuff. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, I have to. It was like, I didn't realize it was condescending. But I thought it, because he's like a part of a nostalgia, media property. It's rude, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean it in a rude way.
Yeah.
It's rude, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like he was kind of offended by it.
Are we going to go to Comic-Con kind of stuff for Come Town?
No. In fact, that's why this started.
I definitely
this
will.
started
For a
with-
check, I'll do anything.
with Alex Jones. I mean, you'll probably
This has been a wild ride. Yeah.
you will probably do a genocide.
What do you mean a genocide?
I mean,
You accused me of homophobic potential hate crime yesterday.
it was.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Well, it was
No,
uncomfortable
it
to
wasn't.
be around.
What do you mean uncomfortable to be
It
around?
was uncomfortable to be around.
No, you were deliberately doing something that you knew was embarrassing for me in a costume shop.
Can I?
And then you said that I was reacting to it because of my homophobia, not because
No.
I saw that
I didn't think
were
you were-
trying to do something that you knew was embarrassing for
I
me.
did not think. First of
You
all,
were trying to have me put on a costume
I thought it
that I
was
had
fun.
expressed to you over
that
weeks.
I thought would be funny, and you agreed it was funny, and you think it's funny. And it was in the service of
in
the project.
retrospect, I said I'll do anything for the show.
And if you wanna
stay
have a con-
tuned. Stay tuned. I will be wearing the costume on the next
Don't blow it,
episode.
Don't blow it. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. Don't blow it.
What's the costume? They don't
blow
know.
It doesn't matter. Point is it's not to embarrass you. It is about. It's funny. You
I
know
had
it's
expressed to
funny.
you.
And if we went with your option, would it have been funnier? Would it have been funnier? Would it have been funnier?
It would. I'll do it. I'll
Yes
do
or
it for
no?
the show. I'll do it for the show.
Okay.
You
But-
wouldn't have won. You wouldn't have worn mine.
It wouldn't make sense.
No.
I
Yeah.
didn't-
Yeah.
no, it
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's-
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
it's-
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
If-
You wouldn't have worn that costume. then.
If it was funnier, yes. If it would have made it funnier, yes. I would.
It would have been funny if you wore it.
It wouldn't have been funnier. That is the thing.
It would have been as funny, probably.
funnier.
Uh-huh.
Now,
So Alex Jones.
a genocide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you suspect I'll commit a genocide at some point?
And this again, back to the original point.
Go ahead.
I am being optimistic for you.
Oh, that's an accomplishment.
Yes.
Okay. The amount of people that I've killed is kind of in a.
I guess you know what? That's a little different. That wouldn't be because it's usually.
I think it's wrong,
It
personally.
is usually little worm men that do the genocides.
What do you mean worm men? I thought you said we were both worm men.
Okay, yeah. We're probably, me and you are probably most likely to do a genocide.
Has an Alf ever done one?
You'll probably own a car dealership or a string of them.
No,
You'll
too
probably
lazy.
buy
I'm too
Twitter.
lazy. I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the sky's the limit.
For me,
Yeah.
auto dealership, that's not the sky.
No, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with this show. We got to get enough money for the right cameras at some point.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
got to go up.
It has to. We
It
got to
has to go
figure
up.
out how to turn this into
Cash
somehow
cow.
we did everything backwards. We figured out how to make the show profitable before it was a show,
Yeah.
and then the show came out,
And then it became a show.
and now people hate it.
So it's bad?
It's not bad. It's
I
very
think
good.
people like it.
Watching the show, it's one of the only things I've ever felt proud about.
It's
doing.
really cool.
It's
It's
genuine.
really
It is
cool.
genuinely a good show.
It's something that didn't
The
exist.
Ernie Hudson episode is great.
It's something that didn't exist before.
Yeah, that's how.
That's
things-
cool.
That's how. Yeah, yeah.
But what are who cares about them?
Well, I mean, you care. You have to balance it. It's still a
Uh-huh.
business you got to run.
The books aren't balanced.
They're balanced. Yeah,
Yeah, they
they're
are.
balanced.
Yeah.
But how do we go bigger? You got to be thinking bigger, 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 bigger. How can we make the show bigger?
Is that where genocide comes into play, or
No, I don't think. I don't
I
want.
don't
that
want
to
to.
happen.
I don't want to do genocide. I don't like genocide.
Yeah. I don't think that was the wrong answer. Maybe you'll be directing The Mandalorian in 20 years.
Is it still gonna be out?
Yeah. Or whatever the new Star Wars is. I believe you could do that.
No, I think you could do it.
What, direct the new Star
I
Wars?
think you'd be.
I'll be dead.
What do you mean dead?
I'll probably be dead.
Why?
I don't know. I think I'm dying.
Well, that's your own. How do you know?
I just don't feel good.
I swear to God, and I'll say it to you right now on camera. I'll die before you. Out of respect.
No chance.
What do you mean?
No chance.
Why?
It's just not going to happen.
Why?
It's just not going to happen.
You're in good shape.
Everybody knows that I'm not in good shape. I'm in terrible shape.
How do you know?
I'm out of breath standing up from the toilet.
From the toilet.
Yeah. And I'm not even shitting. I just hang out in there.
Oh, I
I
mean,
stand up and I'm like, oh boy.
it's probably because you're thinking about if the Mandalorian will make you ultimately happy.
It's not, God.
I know. I'm misinterpreting on purpose. I get what you're saying. Will I be happy enough to enjoy the Mandalorian? I know what you're saying. I mean, it's a pathetic thought, but I know what you're
Not happy
saying.
enough, but primed for happiness.
I don't know.
You shouldn't be, look, staying in a perpetual state of happiness is impossible.
Yeah.
But you should be in a perpetual state of being open to the possibility of happiness. In the same way that, when people they get out of a relationship, they're damaged, they can't, it's like they just can't connect with somebody, right? Maybe they meet somebody and it would have worked, but they're just in this fucking
They're too
malaise.
hurt.
They're right. They're shut off.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
a
too
defense
raw.
mechanism. Yeah, it needs to be reset. Now, the same works for enjoying The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
The Sopranos ended 20 years ago. It's time to move on.
Uh-huh.
And maybe The Mandalorian isn't as good as The Sopranos.
Can I go bigger?
Yeah.
Zoom out bigger. It's really sad that you know you're alive, and in knowing that, you know you're going to die, right? That is a truth that we all know, and that we all live with
I
constantly.
guess some might say that
Okay.
underneath everything there is a existential dread that informs every
It's really sad
dissatisfaction.
that we will stop thinking at a certain point, right? So the baseline of existence is a cruel, mean, awful joke.
Well, that's also
So
a
you
matter
have
of
to
perspective.
find.
Because look, you have a concept of infinity, right? You understand it.
Infinity War.
No, infinity. There's like this thing, or endlessness. You understand the universe is endless. It expands forever.
No, it's not endless, but it's expanding.
Well, I get whatever.
I don't fucking know
But then what's
universes.
outside of the universe?
I don't know.
But so you have a concept of
No, I just want to be nice to my dog and my girlfriend
you're
and my
getting
friends.
off track, though.
That's all you can handle.
You're turning this into you're having a different conversation.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're constantly riddled, if you're constantly just like focusing on that, which is a logical a logical like thought.
No, it's
right?
not. It's
You
not. It's
can't-
not logical.
What?
To like perseverate on is that the right word? On death?
I don't fucking know words,
You
bro.
repeat a thing over and over again in your head. You're like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
What are you talking about? It's the saddest thing imaginable.
But it's not real. Is I guess my
Death?
yeah. It's not
What do you mean? What happened? No, nothing.
because you understand your life to be finite in relation to what? There's
What-
no end point of time.
There's no anything else. There's just your life.
Yeah. So your whole life is that's the entirety of
So
everything.
just be good to the people that you love.
No, but now you're
That's all you can. That's all you can
You're
control.
taking a conversation about one thing and turning it. You're just.
I'm just
jumping
saying-
into this needle point, like.
It's not needlepoint.
yeah,
I'm just
this,
saying.
this like Hobby
What?
Lobby, placard.
Maybe it's not.
What?
Maybe it's not.
What do you mean? Maybe it's not.
I don't know. Why are so many
I
songs?
don't know why you're pitching a problem that I say doesn't need to exist in your head, and then you're giving me a solution. To
The
your own
problem of the fact that you're gonna die doesn't need to exist.
It does. Yeah. It
But
does.
you're saying that
It's a matter of perspective.
you're saying the problem of not being able to enjoy Mandalorian does exist.
It does exist, but I'm saying that doesn't stem from a
I'm just saying
feeling
you
of death.
just you do your best. You do your best. And it's never going to be good enough, but you just do your best. That's it. That's all you can do. Right?
Sure, but that's like separate. I don't like it's.
Why?
Because it's like you're like, I'm scared I'm going to die, but
Yeah, but if people are left on Earth,
then you're
if
throwing
people
like
are left on Earth,
an ad campaign at the end of it. You say, well, but
no,
do
I don't
the
care if
do.
it sounds corny. I don't care
It's
if
not
it
that
sounds
sounds corny. It's just
If people are left having been impacted by your love, I think that is a life, that's the best you can do. Beyond that, it's just fucking really sad that it's really sad that you die.
well, it doesn't. You don't really die though.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
You only die from other people's perspective, which you can never have in your own head. Your perception will always be the totality of your own existence.
Yeah, but then what happens after you're dead?
Nothing, because you don't. What happens is again.
I get what you're saying. But it's, come on. Why is it bad to die then?
What?
Okay, I get what you're saying in theory, but that, in practicality, that's not true.
Well, you don't seem to be any happier.
What do you mean?
You just say, "Oh, I just want to be good to my dog," and life is terrible otherwise.
That's all you can. That's all you can do.
No, you can shift your perspective, and then you can enjoy the Mandalorian and just be good to
It's
your
a
dog.
part of the same thing.
Be good to your dog.
It's part of the same
because
thing.
you.
It's part of the same thing.
Because you just happen to enjoy it. Being good to your dog can be just as fine as watching the Mandalorian is. It can be this non-thing and just a normal state of being.
No.
And you don't have to use being nice to your dog, your family, or your friends as a coping mechanism.
It's not coping.
You just you diagnose your own problem is that you have this perpetual fear of death, and then prescribe.
Everyone does, and if they
No,
don't,
not
they're
everyone does.
lying.
They're projecting. They're not lying.
No, that's not
They're
true.
not lying. No,
that's
some
not
people,
true.
Some people are just nice to their family and friends, and they just enjoy the Mandalorian.
That's all I'm saying is like.
No,
there
but
are
they
certain,
just do it. You
no,
said
no.
it.
There are certain
No.
realities. There are
way-
certain
no,
realities.
the way you
no,
think,
no, no. You're
the way-
mischaracterizing my argument.
The way you think.
No, you're
about
mischaracterizing.
how watching the Mandalorian should be is the same as you should think about
You're
being nice to your
mischaracterizing
mom.
my argument.
I'm not mischaracterizing.
Yes, you are.
anything. I think you're not understanding your own frame of reference.
What I'm saying is there are certain realities that are beyond our control. It's like people in AA have to say this shit. There are certain things we can control. There are certain things we can't. So we focus on the things we can control, which is like being good to your loved ones.
Or enjoying the Mandalorian.
Or enjoying the Mandalorian. It's part of the same thing.
But you're saying I have to be good to my loved ones because I'm going to die someday, and what impact am I going to have?
That's the only thing I've ever in my entire life been able to decipher that gives life meaning.
But every time you're nice to your dog, you're also thinking, I'm going to die someday.
No. No. I'm thinking that this is meaningful.
It's meaningful because
I'm extracting meaning.
because you're going to die someday, and therefore it needs meaning.
No, because I'm showing love to another
You have a
being.
negative relationship with life being meaningful because life being meaningful is a way to justify this fear of death that you have or placate it.
I know, and it's really, I don't know if I want to say this in public,
Then don't say it.
but I know that from what I've seen
Not the Mandalorian.
in
Not the
practicality,
Mandalorian. You haven't seen the Mandalorian?
that is the only thing, and it's from what I've learned, that's the only thing that really kind of makes sense.
You shouldn't look for meaning in life. You should just be able to exist within the suchness of it. In the same way, like whatever. It's the point I just made.
Then what are you fucking like? Come on. That's not how people exist. People are emotional beings.
You can be emotional, but if everything has this underline of, oh, I'm going to die, I need to find meaning, you're existing on these two extremes, right? Where it's life is this tragic, sad thing, or it has meaning.
No, that is something that is in the background constantly.
And then there's all these people in the middle.
There is no either or, right? I'm not denying that I'm going to die if I extract meaning from life.
It's not going to deny, but you balance it in a certain way. It's
No,
finding
it's
a
just
balance
like-
between these two things. When you shouldn't be looking to balance these two extremes, you should be looking to remove the extremes.
I'm
because
not.
Because there is no meaning. Because just in the same way that life gives meaning, like life having meaning kind of makes it okay that you're going to die someday. Otherwise, why wouldn't you kill yourself or any of these other things? What's the point of living if you're just going to die anyways? Whatever. Life has meaning, so you stay alive, and that sort of allays this underlying fear or sadness about the tragedy of death.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So.
Or you believe in heaven.
Yeah. So you're always operating.
Or you believe in a faith system.
This is the negative of death. It's Roman Polanski raping the little girl, and then life having meaning is Chinatown, right? And instead of the two things existing at once, either this great piece of art or this grand tragedy, let's forget about Chinatown. Let's forget about the Roman Polanski raping people. Let's watch The Mandalorian. Right in the middle.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Right in the middle.
Are you being obtuse on purpose, or am I not making any sense?
No, you're making sense. I just don't.
I'm just saying that there's a tragic truth that underpins everything, right?
No, it's
and
not
all
a
we
truth.
can do
It's
is
not a truth.
all in my opinion, okay?
But it's not a truth because here's the
all
thing.
we can do is our best.
You're making all these intrinsic statements about death.
I'm saying what makes sense to me.
Like death being a tragedy is perception. So there's nothing. It's
Badass,
it's not,
Nick. That's badass.
It's not about being no.
Why is it sad when a young person dies? Why is it sad when someone dies unnecessarily? Why is it sad when someone gets killed?
You're going the other direction.
Then why is it sad?
You're still looking for an intrinsic
So if
meaning in the thing
someone gets killed, if someone gets shot to death,
yes,
you say that why is this intrinsically sad?
You're talking about
right?
somebody being murdered in an injustice. That's
so
completely
why is it
different.
an injustice?
Okay, so everyone should constantly be sad about the fact that
No, because life is precious. Because life is precious. It's very simple. And cognition is finite. And we're very lucky to experience it, and it's really sad when we can't experience it anymore. You know?
All right. Well, go ahead and pet
Have
your
you
dog
seen
and not enjoy it.
What?
Go ahead and be nice to your dog and not enjoy it.
That's what you're advocating
No,
for.
I'm not advocating for that. I'm advocating for petting your dog without the context of death being involved at all.
No, I'm saying that is what I choose
And
to
the
fill
only-
my life with to extract meaning.
To cope. Extracting meaning is coping
Oh yeah.
with this other
It's
thing.
badass.
You should-
Bukowski, dude.
It's not Bukowski.
You smoke some cigs,
It's
dude.
not Bukowski.
You
at
smoke
all.
some, you're badass, dude. Come on. Yeah. We're not even speaking at cross purposes right now.
No, we are though.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are, because you're not. That's not what I'm saying. It's not like
You're saying-
You're trying to say that I have some nihilistic approach to the thing, and I'm not at all. It's just there's a way to just pet your dog and enjoy it for that, without it giving your life meaning to cope with this other thing.
I'm not doing it to cope with the other thing.
You chose
I'm
to
doing
frame
that
it as
because
those
that is how I choose to. That is how I choose to spend what I have of cognition.
But that shouldn't enter into your mind,
Why?
because you can just enjoy petting the dog.
I would rather do that than fucking wasting my time doing some other shit. Yeah. I would. It's better for me. For me, it's a personal choice. It's better.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I'm spending my whole life loving. I'm a fucking a pervert. No, I'm just like that. That's what seems meaningful. In my opinion. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I'm not a very smart person. That's the only thing that's, to me, that's ever.
Well, what you need to do is figure out.
I'm not petting my dog to cope with death. I'm petting my dog because that's how I want to spend my life. Right?
Yeah. But what you need to do is you need to figure out how to watch The Mandalorian and not be thinking about.
I do that kind of shit, dude.
Okay.
I watch the Multiverse of Madness.
Then maybe start there and figure out how to pet your dog as if you were watching The Mandalorian.
You're a freak. You're a fucking freak. It's not all. You're a freak.
I'm not a freak.
You're a freak.
I make sense to me.
I'm right and you're wrong.
I make sense to me.
I know.
It's not a matter. Right and wrong, it doesn't even exist here.
But maybe it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You can choose to live your life that way.
That's how I choose to live my life.
And I'm going to try and figure out how to fucking have my eyes roll back in my head and drool all over myself watching The Mandalorian.
And those two things are
They're different, yeah.
different.
They are different.
I thought you said they're the same.
They are the same.
That the sensation of doing that.
In terms of objective reality, they are different things.
Yeah, we all get it. But who cares?
Well, you obviously do. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the conversation.
What?
You care.
You started the conversation.
No, I was trying to talk about fucking Chinatown.
What? You started it.
All right. Well, I started, you started. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
I'm glad the cameras are working.
Are we gonna put this crap out?
Instead of what? We have to.
So embarrassing. I just acting this way in public is just. I'm not. I don't know. It's. You're smart enough to pop off in these ways. I
don't care.
Yeah, but I'm shy because it's like
Who cares?
I'm a simple man.
This is just This is a free podcast.
Yeah, but I don't know. They're seeing it with video and stuff.
That's fine. It's a free podcast
They want to hear us talk about.
that helps fund the talk show that we want to do.
And the new episode will be out very shortly. It's our most ambitious to date.
Don't stop overpromising.
I mean it. It is.
Okay.
You agree.
I'm happy with it, but I don't want to.
You can't be happy with anything.
I'm happy. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, that's your fucking flaw. Is anytime anything good happens, you have to convince yourself you're really sad.
You put that.
You're
on.
such
That's
a
not true.
bitch, dude.
That's not true. You're saying that. I've been saying I'm happy. I'm happy with
No,
what we
you've
did
been
yesterday.
since we did that yesterday. You've been like a little fucking moody.
No, I haven't. I'm relaxed. All day you've been saying what's wrong, what's wrong, and I tell you nothing is wrong. I feel fine. I feel good. I feel good about yesterday. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah, so let's enjoy this day.
I am enjoying it.
Well, we're in this windowless room.
That's where the studio is.
Let's just go watch Mandalorian. Let's try it out.
I don't want to watch Mandalorian in the afternoon. I'll watch Mandalorian later. Also, we have more work to do. We got to get this all. Me and Ginsberg got to work all night.
All night?
It's gonna be a lot. It's already fucking. What is it? It's like it's almost 3
I have
o'clock.
to fly out
or
at
2
fucking
o'clock.
6 a.m., dude.
You don't have to be here.
All right.
We'll get everything set up. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Did I sound like an idiot?
We both sound like idiots.
No, you were saying probably better things.
No, I don't think you sound like an idiot.